The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome everyone. My name is Ian Piddock and I will be the moderator on today's call entitled Empower Your Sales Team with Real-Time Mobile Solutions. Your presenters for today are Peter Hawkes and Eugene King. Peter is the UK Sales Manager for LANSA in St Albans, UK, and Eugene is a LANSA consultant who has nearly 20 years of IBM experience, including extensive involvement integrating IBM applications with various Windows, web and mobile technologies. Some quick housekeeping tasks before we begin. In the upper right-hand corner of the screen is the GoToWebinar Attendee Control Panel. I want to point out two features. First, if you're having problems during the webinar, please raise your hand here if you need to get our attention. And second, to ask us a question, you do so right here. Just as an FYI, all the product-related questions will be deferred until the end of the presentation. Okay, that's enough housekeeping. Let's get on with the presentation.
Thanks, Ian, and welcome everyone to this session on using mobile technology to empower your sales force and customer base. Now let's start off first by looking at the exciting opportunity. Some people much smarter than I have been analysing recent e-commerce statistics, and what they found is that mobile devices are now a key component of the e-commerce landscape. Why? Because year after year, the percentage of e-commerce sales completed by mobile users continues to climb. In fact, it's even spawned a new term called m-commerce, or mobile commerce, which accounts for all of the e-commerce purchases made via smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices. According to eMarketer, in 2013, UK retail m-commerce sales were £6.6 billion. That's a five-fold increase over 2 years ago. In fact, 15% of total retail e-commerce is now done on mobile devices. This market share is up from a tiny 4% in just 2011. So what about future trends? eMarketer predicts that by 2017, mobile e-commerce will account for over 26% of all e-commerce sales. And if we do the maths, that equates to mobile devices generating £17 billion of e-commerce sales per year. Now, there were two important events that fueled the mobile e-commerce explosion. The first was June the 29th, 2007, which is the date that Steve Jobs announced the iPhone. This event was very significant in two ways. First, it introduced the smartphone as we know it today. And second, it introduced us to the concept of mobile apps and an app store where users could download and install third-party applications to run natively on the device. The benefit behind native apps means that mobile applications were no longer constrained by the limitations of HTML. Plus, new mobile applications could embed device features like the accelerometer, geolocation, the camera, barcode scanning, etc., to make the user experience far superior to that of a mobile web app. The second date was January the 27th, 2010. This was the day Steve Jobs introduced the iPad to the world. Looking back in time, a lot of the technology pundits out there made fun of the iPad when it was introduced. They called it an oversized iPod that no one would ever want to use. Now, I know hindsight is always 20/20, but those analysts were short-sighted and neglected to see that Apple produced a new type of mobile device, a device that still adhered to the concept of native apps and an app store, but now the screen was finally large enough to be taken seriously by the business community. The reason why I feel these two dates are significant is because these two devices really raised the bar in terms of what users expected from their mobile device. Well, why is this important? According to a recent Google research study, 57% of users say they won't recommend a business with a poorly designed mobile app, and 40% have turned to a competitor's app after a bad mobile experience. So, as we see, user experience is very important. And this could explain why many companies are striving towards deploying native mobile apps instead of HTML-based web apps, because they want to improve the user experience and create mobile apps that are more powerful and easier to use. And for those reasons, LANSA built Commerce Edition Mobile, a native mobile application which is not HTML-based, and it allows salespeople and customers to create orders and securely access real-time business information anytime, anywhere. And just as an FYI, if you hear me say the phrase CE Mobile, I'm really talking about Commerce Edition Mobile. Internally at LANSA, we call it CE Mobile all the time because it's a lot quicker to say. Now, before Eugene demonstrates CE Mobile, I want to quickly review its heritage, or its foundation, if you will. About 10 years ago, LANSA created Commerce Edition, a turnkey business-to-business and business-to-consumer desktop browser solution that fully integrated with and extended IBM back-office ERP applications to the web. ERPs such as JDE, BPIX, System 21, or even homegrown systems. The desktop browser version of Commerce Edition is built on a set of B2B and B2C components that LANSA developed from its experience of building custom e-commerce websites, and deployed this solution at hundreds of IBM sites across the globe. So, why is this history lesson important? Well, because CE Mobile shares all of the same back-end componentry as the desktop version. With CE Mobile, we didn't take the easy road, which would be to keep tweaking our existing desktop browser solution to make it fit nicely inside a browser on a mobile device. Again, since the user experience is so important to the mobile community, we decided to create a native mobile application instead. And as I mentioned before, LANSA Commerce Edition Mobile can be deployed to both your customers and for the internal sales force. As for what's available for your sales force, and Eugene will show you this in his demo, they have real-time access to view and update customer information, such as phone numbers, addresses, or they can display maps and routes to a customer location. They can create, view, and update customer-specific documents, such as contracts, estimates, proposals, instructions, and schematics. All documents are synchronized with the server. There's even an address book that allows your sales teams to maintain a personal list of contact names, titles, addresses, phone numbers, and photos of their customers, and directly call and email contacts using their mobile device, or display maps and routes to the contact's location. In terms of order management, users can review or complete orders and calculate total order cost, fully integrated with your back-end systems. And all orders created via CE Mobile are communicated to the clients via email. Sales has access to printer-friendly orders or invoices if they need to access or share that information. They can even repeat, modify, or extend previous orders, or work with pending orders, which are orders that were started but not completed. Sales reps can choose between accepting a real-time credit card payment or more traditional purchase order payments as well. Your sales team will also have access to all product information like product specs, images, inventory levels, and pricing. A feature that users particularly love is the ability to create their own personal catalog, which saves time with commonly viewed or frequently ordered items. This is similar to favorites or wish list style of product lists, and you'll see this in action when we get to the demo. Another great ordering feature is the ability to scan barcodes to create orders, which again Eugene will show you in the demo momentarily. Last but not least is reporting. Users have access to real-time drill-down reports that display annual sales information where users can drill down by salesman, then by period, then by product family, then category, and finally drill into products and see sales information by product. You'll get to see this in action during the demo. Now let's talk about customers. They will have real-time access to order status details regardless of whether the original orders were created by fax, catalogue, or if they phoned the order in, did it via EDI, or via CE Mobile. All orders are available via PDF for sharing and printing. Customers can also view their account summary information and recreate a specific invoice via their mobile device. They also have the ability to define and update their default shipping and billing addresses and select ship to accounts for B2B users prior to placing orders, which can influence price and shipping charges. Speaking of shipping, CE Mobile will calculate shipping costs if required in real time based on product weight, shipping location and destination using UPS or FedEx, etc. and work with customer configured shipping calculations based on flat rate shipping, free shipping, or any other type of table-based rate schedules. CE Mobile enables your customers to browse product details and see customer-specific pricing calculated in real time with direct integration to your back-end systems. They can even check stock availability, and then you can choose how they see that information, whether it's in terms of exact quantities, minimum number thresholds, or yes/no availability. It's really your choice. Another cool thing your customers can do is to create their own personal product list to work with, or share product information via email, SMS, and social media sites such as Twitter and Facebook. Right, now the time has arrived. Eugene is going to show you some of these features instead of me just talking about them. I'm going to pass you control over to Eugene so he can walk you through the LANSA Commerce Edition solution and demonstrate some of the features I've just covered. Now, while Eugene works on sharing his iPad screen, I just want to point out that the demo app Eugene will be showing you is for a fictitious golf supply company. I understand that none of you probably sell golf supplies, so I need everyone to look past the golf products being displayed on the screen and try to envision your products instead. With that, Eugene, over to you.
Thank you, Peter. Just bear with me for a second while I bring up my screen. Okay, so now what you should all be seeing is a mirror of my iPad. So for this demonstration, I'm going to be demoing Commerce Edition on the iPad, but the application is also available on Android devices as well. So I've gone on to, in this case, the iTunes App Store and downloaded the Commerce Edition application and configured it to point to my server, which in this case is my iSeries to Ian St. Albans. So I've just selected that icon, and now you can see the login information which is available for the Back9 company. Now we're fully multi-currency and multilingual enabled, so at the moment we support the English, French, German and Spanish, but we can add other languages relatively quickly because of the way that this product has been architected. Now the first thing I need to do is to sign on. So I'll just enter my credentials and my password and go done. So we then log in to the application. So there are two versions of this application which are available. In fact, what it is a single version which can be run either as an end user, so a consumer app, or as like a business-to-business account manager or sales executive who's responsible for a number of different accounts. Now in this part, I've signed on as a B2B, business-to-business user, so I can see several accounts. Whereas if I was a consumer, I would go directly to the home page, which you'll see in a second. But because I've gone to this accounts list information, I can select that a little pop-up, which is the little blue square, a little square with a blue top, which then I can jump directly to areas which I'm interested in. So if I'm on a customer site and I want to view invoices, I can jump directly to invoices. So I'm going to select the Arnold Palmer account. I'm going to do some ordering with the Arnold Palmer. So in this case, the screen that you now see, if I was a consumer, this is the screen that I would go directly to. I wouldn't have the option to select from a list of accounts. I would go directly to my splash page. And on this splash page, we have a number of menu items displayed graphically. So we have images set up, and I can scroll through the various options. And these, of course, can be configured to suit whatever your requirements are. So in this case, it is a golf company, so we have golf club categories. At the bottom of the page, we have our main areas, our personal catalogs and the orders, and we'll look at those as we go through the demonstration itself. So first of all, what I want to do is start entering orders, and to do that, I need to start looking at items and searching my items. And there are a number of ways that we can do that. So let's go into club sets, and I simply just tap the image on the screen, which then brings up now my main ordering page. And as you see on the right-hand side, where it says current cart, it's picked up that I was already partially through an order, and it saved that order for me. Now I can select directly from the menu option. So I select Iron Club Sets, I tap the image, and that then gives me a list of all the Iron Club Sets which are available. And I can increment the quantities, and as you see, as I tap into the actual field, the appropriate keyboard comes up. So if it's a numerical field, it'll be a numerical keyboard. If it's a date field, I will get the prompter there, and if it's in a character field, which I'll show you in a second, it'll come up with the text entry rather than numerical. So I'm going to add something to the cart, so I've just entered 2 of these 2000S and add that to the cart. So that's using the catalog to place orders, and I can have an option to set a delivery date. Let's set that 1 and accept, and add that to my cart, which then will appear in the current cart category on the right-hand side. So that's one way of finding items. Another way would be to use a standard search. So in this case, let's put in CAP, which was there originally. As you see now, I get a text keyboard, so it's sensitive on what the field is that I'm entering the data into. So I can do a CAP, do a search. That then will go off, search the categories. And now, as Peter mentioned, all this data is live and fed directly from the ERP system. So the quantities and the price values can be customer specific. Yep, so you can have special discounts for different account types, or it could, for this particular account, we could have quantity or break points, where if I order 5 of those, I will get a discount of 10%. So we can set that up, and we can configure the information which you see on this screen to suit whatever your own requirements are. So I'm going to add 5 of those and add that to the cart. So we just added a nice baseball cap, and I'm just going to go straight forward, add it, shipment date 15th of Jan, and add that to the cart. You also would see an additional option which says add to catalog. So if I order this on a regular basis, I may want to add this to my own catalog for this particular account, so that I can just go in there and quickly shop for the items which I order on a regular basis. We also have an option which allows us to do barcode scanning. So I just tap the screen. You'll see it now highlighted on the screen there, the little scanning symbol, which is blue, just next to the below club sets. And that allows us then, if I want to, if I've got the barcode, I can just scan that barcode and it will then find the item and I can then order that item from the barcode. Another way, so let's quickly jump back to the home page. So we can go to the home page there. And I mentioned the personal catalog. So if I want to get into the personal catalog, I can select the personal catalog at the bottom of the screen, which will then pull up a list of the items or my preferred items. And you can see that we've got my cap in there, which I added. The little minus sign on the left-hand side will allow me to delete an item from my personal catalog. So I can just select that. Once I select that, just say OK to delete it, just to confirm, which then deletes that item from the catalog. I can add an item to the cart or multiple items to a cart. Or what I can do, if I go back to the home page, is I can save orders and I can add orders to the cart as well. So if I've got a restocking order, which I order on a regular basis for this particular customer, I can just go in and add that order to the cart. So if we just go down and have a look at a couple of these orders here, I just tap the little icon at the bottom which has got multiple sheets, and now that order, which is, let me just highlight it so you can see what's on that order, has now been added to my cart as well. So we have a number of different ways which I can navigate around and add items to the cart for my ordering. So now let's have a look at and see the cart itself to see what's in there. So now we see the list of items, any particular shipment dates that are required by, quantities, and again, any information which is displayed here is fully customizable. We can customize this to meet your particular requirements. We have an option that allows you to enter notes. So in this case, I'll just enter a header note and touch to save the comment. And you'll then see a 1 next to the paper icon, which shows now that I have a note at the header level. And I can do it at line level as well. So if we go on to the golf cap, select that, I can add a line 1. I'll just add some text there and just do a touch and save. And you will see that that now has been entered there. Now at this point, I have a number of options. I can just clear this order down. I can save it so that I can come back to it later. So this is could be a restocking order, and I can save that order so I can come back to it and place that order later on. Or I can go into the option for placing the order. So let's go place the order and see what the information is. Okay. So here we can now see a standard almost bill of lading of the information. So it's almost the invoice. This is where we're going to be shipping. This is the order. I can select the ship to address. So if I press the select button, and you'll see that pop up now come up on the screen, I can decide to select a different ship to address. And again, I'll show you where we can set those up later on in the demonstration itself. My notes at the header level and line level are visible at this point. A summary of all the items which are in the order. And now I can enter some delivery instructions. I'll go ask for Eugene and say done. And this is now where we have an option to enter either a purchase order or a credit card. Because I'm an account manager and I manage several accounts, I'll be working with the purchase order. But if I was an end user, a consumer, then I would be able to enter my credit card information, and we can take payments live from the actual website itself. But for the purpose of this demo, we'll just do a purchase order and enter a purchase order number. Done. Now, just to confirm and to say, yes, this is the correct order, I then have the option to allow the user, the account, to actually sign the order itself, just to confirm. So I can just go and quickly do a quick squiggle, and then finally, once I'm happy with that, place the order itself. Okay, press OK to show the order acknowledgement. We'll bring that up, and here we now have the order acknowledgement. If I want a PDF of that, I simply press the PDF option, and that will generate a PDF document which I can mail to myself, mail to the actual customer, or simply print off if I've got the printing capability attached to my device itself. So there we go. There's the order acknowledgement, and again, I can do whatever I want with that, including emailing. I'm going to jump back to my orders. Let's go back to the home page. And once we've placed the order, and again, this is live against the ERP system, so once I've entered that order, it can go straight through the system to be processed and delivered and dispatched. I can then start looking at my invoices. So if I need to look at the invoices for this particular account, I can go through, I can set how many days, last 30 days, show how many items. So if I want to restrict how many items I show on a particular order, this is the order that I've actually placed. You'll see the little paperclip icon. That's my header note, which I placed previously. And likewise, on the line, we also have the line information there as well. So that's the complete cycle from doing the shopping to placing the order, authorizing the order, and then putting it on the back-end system and finally invoicing. But as I am an account manager, I have an option now to be able to maintain contact information within a particular account. So this is the Arnold Palmer account, and I can set up any different number of contacts for that particular person. Now I can email those people directly, or if I had a phone-enabled device, a phone-capable device, I could give them a phone call. So I could make a phone call, I can show on map, or I can use the GPS functionality on the device itself to show the routes to that particular contact and how long it may take to get to that location. So I'm just going to cancel that one. Okay, let's just go back. You'll notice we also have the ship to. So for the Arnold Palmer account, I can add any number of different ship to addresses to that account as well, and that you can see on the final order screen for the ship to information. And I can also associate documents with an account. Oh, I haven't got any documents for that one, but if I wanted to, I could have service level agreements assigned for this person. I could have maps and images specifically for this particular account itself. And because this is a account manager's application, I also have access, and again, depending on how you want to configure this wouldn't be available to a consumer, but as I'm account manager, I can select the sales report information and then view a year-on-year view of the sales against my particular quota for this account. So if I highlight one, you'll see 2013. Well, let's select 2013 sales. So I tap the image, and it then pulls up a breakdown, a monthly breakdown of the accounts itself. And we'll see we had a very good month in March, so let's select that. So we select March, drill down further. Right, what was the best seller? We'll see that the 61% of the sales was made up of the golf club set. Well, what particular golf clubs were interesting? I can drill down even further. And we can see which sets were the best sellers. So in this case, if I just tap that image, it's the iron club sets. And you can set this up and configure it to show any range of information which you would like and how many times you would like to be able to drill down and get as granular as you want. Okay, and with that, I will hand you back to Peter, who will conclude the presentation.
Right, thank you very much, Eugene. Now, a common question we are asked is, how do we modify the application moving forward? For user and application type changes, your IT staff or line of business managers can use the administration program that comes with CE Mobile to make those type of changes. It's a very easy to use admin program, everything point and click and fill in the blanks. There is no coding or development required. For any programmatic changes where your company would like to add more functionality to the application, your IT staff can use the same development languages they use today to make changes, because CE Mobile is built using a LANSA technology called Long Range, which allows IBM I developers to use their existing skills to build stunning native mobile applications. And since there's nothing new for them to learn, they can make and deploy application changes without having to contact LANSA or get our services department involved. And if you don't have developers on site, well, then LANSA can continue to make the enhancements for you. I understand there can be a lot to digest when it comes to mobile apps, so you may be asking yourself, where do I go from here? What are the next steps? Well, congratulations, you've already taken the first step by attending this webinar, and it demonstrates that you recognize the need for your organization to embrace mobile technology. Well, here are some of the next steps to consider, and I'll explain them in more detail in a second. Here are the tasks you'll want to perform. You need to get into the loop, perform a mobile assessment, and then build a proof of concept that you can share with your peers. So what do I mean by get in the loop? You need to be proactive. Start talking with your peers. Talk with other employees in various departments. Speak with customers and ask them, how could a mobile app make your job easier? Could it streamline any lengthy or manual processes? Would it improve customer services? Could you be more productive? Can it cut costs? Once you're armed with this information, then you can better plan for what your mobile app needs to do. Then take a moment to take in what you've learned and perform a mobile assessment. Determine if going mobile will add any business value to your organization. Without any perceived business value and return on your investment, it will be hard to get any budget and resources from a mobile project, just like with any other project for that matter. The product we talked about today was very sales-centric, and you may discover that a sales app is not what you need. If that's the case, then take advantage of one of LANSA's free mobile assessments. This is an opportunity to sit down with one of LANSA's mobility experts, and they can help you assess your needs and your options, and help you figure out where you are now and calculate what needs to happen in order to get you to where you need to be in the future. If CE Mobile is not an exact fit, LANSA has tools and the mobile expertise to help organizations create custom mobile solutions specific to their company's needs. Again, this is a free, no obligation mobility assessment offering provided by LANSA. Once you've determined the best mobile strategy for your company, I recommend that you perform a POC. Build a mobile app that accesses your data and mobile device features. Once you've built your prototype, you need to showcase it around the office, demonstrate to everyone what's possible, and most important, demonstrate that you know how mobile can improve the way that your company does business. Don't have the time to build a POC? Ask LANSA for help. We'd be more than happy to help you build a prototype if you're crunched for time. Whether you'd like to see some of your products populate inside CE Mobile, or building your own customized app that displays some other type of functionality, just contact us and we'd be more than happy to help you out. At this point in time, I'll pass control back to Ian so we can head into the question and answer session.
Thank you, Peter, and thanks to Eugene also. As Peter just said, we've moved into the questions and answers section of the webinar. So during the webinar, I did receive a couple of questions that came in. And just a reminder to everyone, the GoToWebinar control panel on the right-hand side of your screen has a questions tab. If you have a question, now would be the best time to get a question in there so we can get that answer straight away. If we don't have time to get to your question, then we can follow up with you afterwards. So I'm going to get straight on with the couple of the questions that I got. What happens when I have no network connection? That's the first question.
Okay, so the demonstration of the LANSA Commerce Edition that we showed you today assumes that there is a mobile, that there is a connection. If you want to work offline, certain things will still be there, like some of the documents, some of the PDF documents may be there. However, we can, if that's a requirement for your business, we can, Long Range itself has offline capability, so we can custom design that to your offline requirements.
Thanks, Peter. The next question is, how does this connect up to my ERP?
Okay, I'll take that one. There are a number of interface points built within inside the program that allows us to call or access files directly from your ERP system. So we've got those APIs, the application interface points, already built in there, and we just need to hook in your live data and even live functionality. So if you've got some pricing, special pricing algorithm for your customers, then we can leverage that when we're showing the prices that you see when you're actually on the page itself.
Okay, thanks, Eugene. Another question, do I need LANSA skills for this?
No, it's Peter here. The answer to that is no, you don't. This is mainly, a lot of this coding has been done purely with RPG skills. So you could use RPG or even COBOL to do a lot of this work. But this particular example was coded in RPG.
Thanks, Eugene. Peter, how do I roll this out to my users?
The application itself will be just like any other application which is in the App Store. So you could have it in the main App Store, which is either the Google Play or iTunes, or you can set yourself up as an App Store. And again, if you want more information on that, we're quite happy to arrange a conference call and we can discuss the different options available. But there is an option where you can have your own store, if you will, where your users can then download it from it. Depends what you really want to do with the application and who you want to have access. For a consumer, you'd get it from the App Store. For if it's for a business-to-business, i.e. an account manager, then you may want to set up for yourself as an enterprise service and provide your own store for it.
I'll just add on to there, what we're finding a lot of our customers do, they want to lock down their devices for internal salespeople using technologies like MDM, mobile device management software like Mobile Iron or SOTI, and so you can use that to deploy the app.
Thanks, guys. A couple more questions have come in. A common question we get, what are the base costs, Peter?
Okay, well I think because this is a, are you talking about Commerce Edition or are you talking about Long Range?
The question just says, what are the base costs?
Okay, well I think that the base cost would really depend on the scope and how much you want to do. Obviously there's some customization to work on that. So what I would suggest on that one is I will follow up with whoever's asked that question and I'll provide them with pricing details. I don't have any problems in doing that, but I think it's better to actually see exactly what the requirements are for the person who's asking the question.
Okay, thanks, Peter. And the final question that I have, so if anybody else has any more questions, please get them in now. But the final question is, will CE Mobile run on Windows tablets?
Today we don't run on Windows tablets unless we can do rich client applications that run on Windows tablets, but what we showed you today is we'll work on Android devices and we'll work on Apple devices. And in the future we may well support Windows Mobile, but we've not done that at the moment just because of the size of the user community.
Thanks, Peter. Okay, so I don't have any more questions now, so I think that brings an end to the presentation today. So I'd like to thank everyone for your time. Peter, Eugene, do you have any closing remarks?
No, I'd just like to thank everyone for attending.
Okay, thanks everyone, and that concludes the presentation for today. Goodbye.